Have you ever noticed how your body seems to whisper little messages as you get older? Maybe you felt your heart flutter a bit more than usual, or noticed your blood pressure creeping up without any clear reason. It can feel unsettling, almost like your body is trying to get your attention, but you're not quite sure what it's saying. You're not alone. Many people over 60 find themselves wondering why these changes happen, and more importantly, what they can do about it. Today, we're going to have a real, down-to-earth conversation about two of the most important nutrients for your heart and your overall well-being: potassium and magnesium. These minerals are like quiet heroes in your body, working behind the scenes to keep your blood pressure steady and your energy flowing smoothly. And the best part? They're not hidden in fancy supplements or complicated diets. They're right there in the foods you can find in your kitchen, just waiting to be invited back onto your plate. You see, potassium and magnesium are essential for helping your blood vessels relax and your heart beat at a comfortable rhythm. As we age, our bodies don't always absorb or hold on to these minerals as easily as they used to. That's why it's more important than ever to make sure you're giving your body what it needs. But don't worry, I'm not going to bombard you with medical jargon or overwhelming lists. I'm just here to talk with you, like two friends sharing a cup of tea and swapping ideas about how to feel good and stay strong. Let's start with potassium. It's a mineral your body uses to help balance fluids and keep your blood pressure in check. Think of it as the gentle push that helps your heart pump without working overtime. Foods rich in potassium are surprisingly simple and delicious. For example, have you ever sliced into a perfectly ripe banana and felt that soft, sweet bite? That banana is packed with potassium, giving your body a little extra support without you even thinking about it. Or maybe you love the bright red pop of a juicy tomato in your salad. That's another tasty way to give your heart what it needs. But let's not stop at fruits. Leafy greens like spinach are loaded with potassium too, and they're so easy to add to a warm soup or a light stir-fry. Even a baked potato can be your friend here. Just a plain baked potato, no fancy toppings, can give you a wonderful boost of this vital mineral. The next time you're in the kitchen, think of these foods not just as fuel, but as gentle healers working from the inside out. And let's not forget about magnesium. This mineral is like a soothing balm for your body, helping to relax blood vessels and keep everything flowing smoothly. If you've ever felt your muscles cramp up during the night, magnesium might be what's missing. It's amazing how a small change, like adding more magnesium-rich foods, can bring real relief to those uncomfortable nights. One of the simplest ways to get more magnesium is to enjoy a handful of nuts or seeds. Almonds, cashews, and pumpkin seeds are perfect for this. Just a small handful in the afternoon can feel like a little treat, and it's doing so much more for your health than you might realize. If you're a fan of whole grains, oatmeal or brown rice can be great choices too, adding that comforting texture and a steady source of magnesium to your meals. Of course, there's also something to be said for the warm, comforting taste of beans and lentils. These humble little powerhouses are wonderful sources of both potassium and magnesium. A bowl of hearty lentil soup or a simple bean salad can be both satisfying and incredibly good for your heart. And the best part? These aren't fancy foods. They're the same kinds of nourishing, everyday staples you might already have in your pantry. What I love most about potassium and magnesium is that they're not about restriction or complicated diets. They're about celebrating the foods that have always been there, foods that nourish your body and bring comfort to your kitchen. Think about that for a moment. Each time you choose a fresh vegetable, a sweet piece of fruit, or a handful of crunchy nuts, you're giving your body the gift of these essential minerals. And your heart, your blood vessels, and your energy levels will thank you for it. I know it can feel overwhelming sometimes, especially when you're bombarded with conflicting advice about what to eat or what to avoid. But the truth is, you don't need a long list of do's and don'ts. You just need to remember that your body thrives on balance and kindness. Potassium and magnesium are simply reminders of that balance's small acts of care you can give yourself every day. As we move forward, let's keep this idea close to our hearts. Eating isn't just about filling up, it's about feeding our bodies with the care and respect they deserve. Every meal is a chance to choose foods that support us, foods that remind us we're still strong and capable, no matter how many candles are on the cake. Now that we've talked about these gentle, powerful minerals, let's keep going and see how else they can fit into your life. Because when you're over 60, your body might need a little extra love, and these simple choices can make all the difference. Let's keep this conversation going. I'd love to keep chatting with you about how you can bring more potassium and magnesium into your daily meals. Because when you start to see these foods as little gifts to your body, it becomes easier to make them a natural part of your routine. Let's talk about some practical ways to sneak in these mineral-rich foods without it feeling like a chore. Have you ever thought about starting your day with a bowl of oatmeal topped with sliced bananas or a sprinkle of nuts? That one simple breakfast can give you both potassium and magnesium to help steady your blood pressure before you've even left the kitchen. And it's warm and satisfying too, almost like a gentle hug for your insides, especially on those cool mornings when you crave something comforting. For lunch, how about a big salad? I'm not talking about those tiny bowls of lettuce that never really fill you up. I mean a hearty, colorful salad that can make you feel alive again. Picture this: leafy greens like spinach or kale, slices of fresh tomato, maybe some avocado for that creamy goodness, and a handful of pumpkin seeds or sunflower seeds sprinkled on top. It's not just a feast for your taste buds, it's a powerhouse of potassium and magnesium working to help your blood pressure stay in a healthy range. And if you're like many people, you might enjoy a cozy soup or stew as the afternoon cools down. Lentil soup is one of my favorites. Lentils have that lovely earthy taste and are brimming with both of these minerals. Add some chopped carrots and celery for extra color and sweetness, and you've got a bowl of something that's as good for your heart as it is for your soul. Now, let's take a moment to talk about something that doesn't get enough attention: the role of simple snacks. I know snacks can sometimes get a bad rap, but they don't have to be just chips or cookies. A small handful of almonds or cashews, or a banana sliced up with a bit of peanut butter, can be exactly what your body needs when that mid-afternoon lull sets in. And they're doing more than just quieting your hunger. They're quietly supporting your heart, your blood vessels, and that feeling of calm that can be so precious as we age. Maybe you're wondering how much of these minerals you really need. The good news is, it's not about counting every gram or tracking every bite. It's about weaving these foods into your meals so naturally that you're giving your body what it needs without even thinking about it too much. A banana here, some beans in your soup there, a handful of nuts when you're feeling peckish, it all adds up, and your body will notice. And I'd like to touch on something that might be even more important than any single food: the joy of sharing meals. Have you noticed how food just tastes better when it's shared with someone you care about? Whether it's a simple dinner with family or a quiet lunch with a dear friend, these moments of connection can turn even the simplest meal into something truly special. And that feeling of contentment you get when you're sharing laughter and stories around the table, that's good for your blood pressure too, because feeling calm and happy can be just as powerful as any mineral-rich food. So when you're thinking about how to bring more potassium and magnesium into your life, remember, it's not just about the numbers or the nutrients, it's about the whole experience of eating well. It's about sitting down and savoring the flavors, the colors, the memories that come with every bite. Maybe it's the smell of a tomato just sliced on the cutting board, or the crunch of a fresh cucumber in your salad. These little pleasures are what make healthy eating something to look forward to, not just something to check off a list. And while we're talking about these comforting, delicious foods, let's remember that they're doing more than just lowering your blood pressure. They're helping your muscles relax, easing any tension that's built up over the years, and bringing a gentle calm to your whole system. It's almost like giving your body permission to rest, to breathe more deeply, and to trust that you're taking care of yourself in the best way you can. One thing I've noticed over the years is that the older we get, the more we realize how much these little choices matter. It's not always about the big gestures or the drastic changes, it's about those small, consistent acts of kindness toward your own body. A simple breakfast, a comforting lunch, a handful of nuts instead of something processed. These are the things that build up over time and make you feel strong and supported. So as we continue our chat about potassium and magnesium, I hope you're starting to see these minerals not as distant, clinical concepts, but as warm, comforting friends that are always there for you. They're tucked into your favorite foods, waiting to bring you a little more energy, a little more ease, and a lot more joy in every meal. Let's keep this spirit of gentle care going as we explore a few more foods and ideas together. Because when you're over 60, taking care of yourself isn't about perfection, it's about the quiet, steady choices that make every day a little brighter and every heartbeat a little more peaceful. And that, to me, is something truly worth celebrating. As we keep going, I want to remind you that taking care of your health doesn't have to be complicated or exhausting. It's really about those small, loving choices you make each day. And the best part is, every little step you take to include more potassium and magnesium in your meals is like a promise to your heart, a gentle nod to your body that you're still here, still taking care of yourself, no matter what life throws your way. Let's talk about a few more foods that can make a real difference. One of my favorite go-to ingredients is avocado. It's creamy and satisfying, and it's also loaded with potassium and a bit of magnesium too. A slice of avocado on your toast in the morning, or even mashed up with a squeeze of lemon and a pinch of salt, can be a delicious way to get those minerals working for you. Plus, there's just something so comforting about the smooth, buttery taste of avocado. It almost feels like you're giving yourself a little treat. Another wonderful source of these minerals is sweet potatoes. They're not only rich in potassium, but also bring a gentle sweetness to your meals that can feel so warming, especially on those days when you're craving something hearty. Bake them, mash them, or even slice them up and roast them in the oven for a simple, delicious side dish. Sweet potatoes are like a little bit of sunshine on your plate. I also love to talk about yogurt, especially plain yogurt or Greek yogurt. It's full of magnesium and pairs so nicely with fresh fruits or a drizzle of honey. It's one of those easy, no-fuss foods that can be a part of breakfast, lunch, or even a light dessert. A small bowl of creamy yogurt topped with berries or a sprinkle of nuts is such a satisfying, comforting choice that's doing so much more for your body than you might realize. Let's not forget about the humble black beans, kidney beans, navy beans. They're full of fiber, potassium, and magnesium, and they're so versatile. Stir them into soups, mash them into spreads, or toss them into a salad. Beans have been a staple food for generations because they're so good at filling you up and keeping your body nourished. And they're proof that sometimes the simplest foods really are the best. As we talk about these foods, I also want to remind you of the power of water. It's easy to forget, but staying hydrated helps your body use these minerals the way it's supposed to. So if you ever feel like your energy is lagging, or your blood pressure is a little out of whack, take a moment to sip some water. It's one of the gentlest, most natural ways to support your heart and your whole system. I know it can be easy to get caught up in worries about what's changing in your body, about your health, about the future. But every time you sit down to a meal that's full of color and goodness, you're telling those worries to take a back seat. You're telling yourself that you matter, that your well-being is worth the time and care it takes to choose these foods. And if you ever feel unsure or overwhelmed, remember that it's okay to start small. Maybe today you'll add a handful of spinach to your soup. Tomorrow you'll swap out a bag of chips for a bowl of yogurt with fruit. Each choice, no matter how tiny, is a step toward feeling more vibrant and at ease in your own skin. As we wrap up this conversation, I want you to remember something important. You are not defined by your blood pressure numbers or by any chart at the doctor's office. You are defined by the kindness and care you show yourself, by the way you honor your body with simple, wholesome meals that make you feel good inside and out. So here's my gentle encouragement to you: keep listening to your body. Keep choosing those foods that bring you both comfort and nourishment. Keep looking for those little sparks of joy in the everyday things, like the bright color of a ripe tomato or the satisfying crunch of a handful of nuts. And as you go about your day, take a moment to be proud of yourself, because you're here, right now, taking steps to support your health and well-being. You're proving that it's never too late to learn something new or to make a change that brings a little more peace to your life. If you found these tips helpful, I'd love to hear about it. Share your thoughts or even your favorite ways to enjoy these foods in the comments below. I know others would love to hear them too. And if you haven't already, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on more gentle, encouraging conversations like this one. Thank you for spending this time with me today. Here's to your health, your happiness, and to many more meals filled with good food, good company, and good feelings. Take care of yourself, and remember every little step you take matters, and every heartbeat is a reason to celebrate.